Yo, peace. Today I want to talk about how to astral travel for beginners. This is more so of a video to prepare you for astral travel as opposed of like actual techniques. If you want actual techniques, I can do a part two, but for now, this is more so of the type of mentality you will have going into your astral travels. And what I'm showing you on screen is some of my digital art to give you a feel of what the astral looks like for those of you who have never seen it. It's like formless. Even though you can see what it is, it's very loose, it's very formless. So when you're in the astrals, it's like you will be able to tell what things are, but it'll be very, very vivid and very, very lucid. So the first thing is use your memory to elevate yourself mentally, meaning everything is based on memory. If you don't have access to your memory, of course you're not going to remember your astral travels or your dreams. Because the thing is, astral traveling is nothing new. It's nothing that we haven't been doing our whole lives. We astral travel pretty much every night. It's just that you don't remember it. So really the thing is not to really teach you how to astral travel. It's really just to remember your travels that you're already doing every night. And you do that by having access to your memory because most of us, our memory is locked down, meaning whether you work in a job or you had to go to school or basically doing anything that you were doing on a daily basis and it's repetitive, it's boring and all that stuff, you tend not to want to remember your days because it's not really nothing to look forward to. Like how many of us really enjoyed working a 9 to 5, doing hard labor, or even just sitting at a desk in school? For those of us who are spiritual, it was pretty much hell. So we learned to develop the technique of erasing our memory because we didn't want to remember shit anyway because it was like the same shit was happening. So in order to tap back into your memory, you have to learn new things every day, whether it's a new word, a new phrase, or anything. As long as you're doing something new every day, you pretty much have a reason to wake up in the morning. I understand when motherfuckers, they don't want to wake up in the morning because they don't want to go to work, they don't want to deal with their day. That's perfectly understandable. But when you dedicate yourself to remembering and learning new things, you have something to look forward to and you can use that however you please. Just make sure that you are learning something every day and you commit it to your memory. It's not enough to like read books and take notes and all this shit like I'm doing now. I'm reading notes. But if you commit it to memory, you don't need this. You have your mind. And when you have your mind, anything is possible. The next thing is study your reactions to stop bad shit from happening. Meaning, like I was saying earlier, it's more so of since we've been programmed to have certain reactions to certain things, we tend not to want to remember this shit, or we don't know why we react in certain ways. For example, if you hit your foot, you're gonna yell out or whatever your reaction is. But that's a programmed reaction. That's probably the same reaction you have for years. It probably dates all the way back to your childhood. So a lot of our reactions date back to our childhood, and we pretty much we just repeat the same shit over and over and over again because that's the only thing that's in our memory is all of the bad shit, all of the trials and tribulations and all that shit. Because like I was saying, we don't commit daily shit to memory. So the only thing in our memory is the shit that we pretty much been going through our whole lives, and this is why we constantly go in circles because we only can go as far as our memory allows us to go. So if you're not learning new things every day, don't expect new things to happen. It's pretty much straight like that. The next thing is use your speech to get out there and teach. Meaning, if you have some knowledge, if you have something to say, you have to exercise your speech and get the truth out here. Like it's so many people out here that don't know anything. There's so many people out here that want to be spiritual, that want information like this, but they don't have access to it because how many people are really teaching about this stuff? This is like an abstract concept for most people because we're really talking about things that you can't physically touch, you can't physically hear. This is all mind power. This is all like mind physics, metaphysics, right? If you're talking about metaphysics, you're talking about something that you have to deal with your mind. So most people can't even grasp concepts like this. So if you have any type of knowledge, you know what I mean, it's your responsibility to teach. And by you teaching, you're going to get that energy back and you're going to pretty much set yourself up to land good at the end of the day. Next thing is giving love freely will uplift humanity. Basically, what I just said, like the more love you give, and by love I mean like you're doing things without wanting something in return, or you're not even really taking it personally. Like if somebody cusses you out, you don't take it personally. Even if somebody give you love, you still don't take it personally. It's about not being attached to all these things because this is what they do with fame. Like for people who get famous, they get caught into the like people screaming their name and all that stuff. They get addicted to that, and when they fall off, that's why like everybody just becomes silent at that point because it was all fake in the first place. So that leads to the next thing. Seeing through illusions stops any and all confusion, meaning once you realize that this shit is temporary, this material shit ain't what they want you to think it is, it's all bullshit, and our life is really to prepare for death. What I mean by that is when you die, you become free. And if you didn't spend your life acquiring knowledge about what happens after death and all that stuff, conquering your fears, if all you were doing was working 9 to 5s and paying bills all your life, when you die, you're going to have to repeat this shit again. However, if you spent your lifetime acquiring knowledge, you pretty much free yourself from having to repeat this shit again. So, next thing is creative energy should always be expressed passionately, meaning your creative energy doesn't supposed to be like, a good way to put it is if you're speaking truth, truth should be spoken with enthusiasm. Like you shouldn't be whispering truth. People whisper lies. People talk low when they lie. So if you're speaking truth, you should speak the shit with confidence because it's creative energy, especially when you're talking about spiritual knowledge, it's pretty much it's a personal thing and everybody has their own interpretations of what everything means. So if you really believe in yourself and you believe in your truth, then it should be spoken passionately. And the last thing is control of time gives one access to the greater divine, meaning when you manage your time correctly, you become in tune with the universe, God, whatever it is that you call it. But you have to manage your time correctly, meaning there's a time and place for everything. And most of the time, we get thrown off by our addictions. Whatever your addiction is, if you have any, that what throws us off. Meaning, like, for example, if I was doing this video right now and I got hungry and I just stopped the video and ate some shit, then that led to me not getting back to the video, watching TV or whatever other type of bullshit people do. Then they never get back to what they were supposed to be doing in the first place. That's a distraction. That's an addiction. And now your time management is all fucked up because you allowed something to sidetrack you and you never got back to what you originally started. So when you combine all of these into one whole science and you take this into your dreams, into your astral travels, you use your memory, you control your reactions, you're using your speech, you're giving love, you're seeing through the illusions, you're using creative energy, and you're using proper time management, astral traveling will be easy as fuck. I'm just telling you right now. Like, if you're not weighed down by chemicals and meats and processed foods and all this bullshit they use to control us, astral traveling will not be a problem. This is why I always recommend fasting, because the more you, in a sense, suffer, the more you gain. As they say, no pain, no gain. If you can fast, which can be painful, but the benefit will be you're going to be more lighter. You're going to be able to remember your dreams. You're going to be able to astral travel more easily, as opposed to if you're heavily weighed down by processed foods and you wonder why you can't do anything spiritually. You know what I mean? So that's just a quick little shit. If y'all want to know more, just hit me up and I'll do a part 2. So peace.